Assalamualaikum everyone, my name is Gulazara, here to bring a newspaper breakdown session courtesy of the KIP CSS network. I hope that this video reaches you in good health and spirits. So the recent Galwan Valley standoff between India and China has raised concerns that this might affect the delicate nuclear balance inside the region. And nuclear-based deterrence, especially sea-based deterrence inside South Asia is at an all-time high. But first we need to analyze what it bodes for India, China and Pakistan. So the question over here begs that sea-based deterrence, why is that needed? What exactly is a nuclear triad? And what exactly is second strike? We need to answer these questions first before we proceed forward. So what exactly is a nuclear triad? Basically, as the name implies, a nuclear triad is a military arrangement, okay? Or basically it is a military structure that puts forward both land-based nuclear deterrence, air-based nuclear deterrence and water-based nuclear deterrence. Basically your Navy, Army and your Air Force. तो अगर हम बात करते हैं कि इस ट्रायड के अंदर जो है वो सबसे easily maneuverable in the face of a nuclear attack कौन सा सेगमेंट है, तो दैट इज ऑलवेज द एयर फोर्स, नंबर वन. नंबर टू, यू हैव योर लैंड बेस्ड न्यूक्लियर डिटरेंस एंड नंबर थ्री यू हैव योर नेवी. ठीक है, सो ये बात इस्टेब्लिश हो चुकी है कि दिस न्यूक्लियर ट्रायड इज एक्सट्रीमली इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर एनी कंट्रीज possessing nuclear weapon, any country that possesses nuclear weapon. This is extremely important and is the first line of defense. Now we will move towards second strike. What is second strike? Second strike is basically a country's capacity to respond adequately towards a nuclear, you can say a nuclear assault. A second strike denotes that this country or this particular arrangement of weapons has the capacity to deliver a crippling blow towards the other forces. Okay? So, in terms of second strike, the most effective ones are the Navy, and the most effective weapon that we have in that repository is the nuclear powered submarine, also called as the SSN, and when they are outfitted with ballistic missiles, they are called as SSBNs. So, to clear off the confusion for the abbreviation, SS is basically the standard speak, the standard military speak for submarine, and N means it is nuclear, and SSBN, submarine ballistic equipped with nuclear power. Okay? So since we have got that out of the way, we will also discuss what are intercontinental ballistic missiles, and we will also discuss what are MRBNs, which are medium range ballistic missiles. So these intercontinental ballistic missiles and medium range ballistic missiles, they are also a very important part of land based nuclear deterrence. And then we also have cruise missiles. Then when Air Force is concerned, तो आपके पास जो वो strategic bombers होते हैं that can carry payloads of nuclear warheads and are able to drop them at strategic points. So now let us talk, since we have got the terminology out of the way, let us talk about the delicate balance that is existing inside the IOR, which is the Indian Ocean region. So after the Galwan Valley standoff, tensions have already risen that this might escalate into a nuclear show-off. With due cause, because China already has a huge repository at its disposal, and India has been known to be very trigger happy. तो अब बात करते हैं हम कि इंडिया जो है वो कब से जो है वो अपने न्यूक्लियर प्रोग्राम को enhance कर रहा है, and also is enhancing the capacity for a second strike. We are also going to be discussing where Pakistan stands in terms of India in its second strike capacity, and how is China going to fare in all of this. वाज़ेह रहे कि चाइना के लिए इतना कोई ख़ास मसला नहीं है. ठीक है, it has the capacity for a first, second and third range strike. ठीक है, first it can respond or it can generate a nuclear aggression, number one. Number two, if any nuclear aggression is generated against it, it can respond adequately and it has the capacity to basically cause a lot of destruction. And third strike capacity is when आपके पास जो है वो when your forces are decimated, you have conducted the first strike and the second strike, you also have enough nuclear weapons left, number one. Number two, you also have the capacity and the logistic to launch a next nuclear weapon. So अगर हम बात करते हैं कि SSBNs की, ठीक है, जो आपके पास submarines equipped with ballistic missiles होती हैं and nuclear powered. Why SSBNs? अगर हम इनकी स्ट्रेटेजिक एडवांटेज के बारे में बात करते हैं तो दे आर एबल टू मूव टूवर्ड्स अ डेप्थ ऑफ 50 फीट, ठीक है, दे आर ऑलमोस्ट वर्चुअली अनडिटेक्टेबल and in a region as vast as the IOR, it is very easy to launch a submarine and to have it patrol the waters and whether dock back or keep on patrolling the waters. As of right now, there are unspeculated reports that in the IOR, SSNs that have not been equipped with ballistic missiles, these SSNs, Chinese SSNs, are patrolling the Indian Ocean region. So, the South Asian nuclear competition is characterized by both the India-China rivalry and India-Pakistan. And this has driven the nuclear arms race out towards the oceans and the sea. So, अगर हम इसके बारे में मज़ीद बात करते हैं, ठीक है, तो we need to know what India has in its pockets. So, in 1984, the Advanced Technology Vessel is the AVT. इसके ऊपर काम इंडिया ने शुरू कर दिया हुआ था. And India's first nuclear triad, the first fully functional nuclear triad, was achieved on August 2016 with the INS Arihant. Now the INS Arihant is an extremely sophisticated vessel. It can carry up to 12 K-15 Sagarika SLBMs, which are submarine launched ballistic missiles, and they have a range of 700 kilometers. After the Dokla standoff, आपके पास जो है वो according to some reports, after the Dokla standoff of 2017, इंडिया ने अपना ballistic missile range जो है वो vast तेज़ी से करना शुरू कर दिया, and then they turned the focus more towards sea-based deterrence, जिसमें आपके पास next class of जो sea-based deterrence, the next class of SSBNs, ठीक है, वो इंडिया ने लॉन्च की, जिनको कहा जाता है the INS Arigat. Now the INS Arigat जो है वो उसके ऊपर काम कंप्लीट हो चुका हुआ है and it is expected to be commissioned fully in 2020. The plans were derailed because of the pandemic. अगर हम बात करते हैं कि in terms of the 700 kilometer range that INS Arihant has, technically speaking, they do not have that much of a range. 700 kilometer is peanuts. Okay? अगर आपने किसी कंट्री को हिट करना है and you have to hit them proper and you hit them where it hurts, so you need to be in a close enough range, ठीक है, that can hurt their populations. Alright, इसको कहते हैं strategic depth. Alright, when a nuclear armed assault is being carried out, nuclear strategic depth matters a lot. आपके पास जितना फासला एनिमी फोर्सेस का फ्रॉम वल्नरेबल पॉपुलेशंस होता है, उतनी आपके पास स्ट्रेटेजिक डेप्थ होती है, उतनी आप जो है वो यू कैन गेन फ्रॉम द टाइम दैट दे कैन अप्रोच दीज वल्नरेबल पॉपुलेशंस एंड माउंट अ डिफेंस ऑफ योर ओन. तो ये 700 किलोमीटर बेशक सुनने में ज़्यादा है, लेकिन इतना ज़्यादा नहीं है. इट कैन नॉट कॉज अ लॉट ऑफ डैमेज. आपकी मैरीन हदूद से आगे पाकिस्तान की फॉर एग्जांपल इंडिया इतनी आसानी से नहीं आ सकता है. वी स्टिल हैव फर्स्ट स्ट्राइक कैपेसिटी एंड नॉट ओनली दैट, वी ऑल्सो हैव आवर एयरफोर्स दैट कैन बी मोबिलाइज्ड विद इन एन इंस्टेंट. सो मज़ीद बात अगर हम करते हैं तो वी हैव द इंडियंस आर वर्किंग ऑन K4 missiles and the K5 missiles, and also a new class which is called as the K6. Again, these plans have been derailed because of the pandemic. The K4 have a reported capacity of reaching 35 kilometers. The K5 have a capacity of 5,000 kilometers, and the K6 are being reported as having a capacity of 8,000 kilometers. अभी तक की रिपोर्ट्स जो है वो अनवेरीफाइड है, लेकिन इनके ऊपर काम जो है वो इन वेसल्स के ऊपर किया जा रहा है, which means that India is serious about boosting its nuclear sea-based nuclear deterrence. क्योंकि ये बात मैंने पहले भी आपको बताई थी कि जब आपके पास सबमरीन्स जो हैं दे आर वर्चुअली अनडिटेक्टेबल, नंबर 1. नंबर 2, if they are equipped with ballistic missiles, they can wreak a lot of damage onto coastal areas, though they would not be able to hurt or deeper set populations. ठीक है, hence the strategic depth. Why is India that much invested into SSBNs now? इसके बारे में बात करना बहुत ज़रूरी है. After the Doklam standoff, India put its process into warp speed, ठीक है, and this was exacerbated by the fact, as I mentioned before, that in 2017 a number of SSNs without the SSBNs, ठीक है, SSNs which are conventionally supplied with nuclear power but they do not have ballistic missiles, they were sighted off in the Indian Ocean. वाज़ेह रहे कि कुछ ऐसी अनवेरीफाइड साइटिंग्स भी हैं जिसमें SSBNs, चाइनीज़ SSBNs भी देखे गए हैं. अब चाइना ने ये स्टांस लिया in 2017 that these SSNs were there to escort trade routes, okay, ट्रेड जो आपके पास ट्रेड वेसल्स थे उनको escort करने के लिए था, but these claims were rubbished by India. इंडियन ओशन में चाइनीज़ का स्टेक बहुत ज़्यादा है, because as it is said before that the Indian Ocean is the kingmaker of the world. Whosoever owns the Indian Ocean owns the world, because about 70% of the world's trade routes pass through the Indian Ocean. So whoever has the Indian Ocean in their grip has the world in their grip. लेकिन अब बात करते हैं कि इंडिया के concerns valid है, ठीक है. China has a lot of conventional military power. It also has a lot of nuclear deterrence. To combat that, ये SSBNs का होना बहुत ज़रूरी है, सेकेंड स्ट्राइक कैपेसिटी होना बहुत ज़रूरी है. इट इज़ एन अदर लेयर ऑफ डिटरेंस. अगर हम बात करते हैं कि चाइना ने जो है वो कुछ प्रीवियस इन द पास्ट डेकेड चाइना हैज़ डन सम वेरी यू कैन से सस्पिशियस एक्टिविटीज़, जिसके अंदर उन्होंने जो है वो एक SSN डॉकिंग जो है उन्होंने श्रीलंका में किया था, हामिदपुरा पोर्ट, और बांग्लादेश को जो है वो डीजल इंजन अटैक सब्स भी दिए इन 2017, ठीक है. और पाकिस्तान को चाइना ने 8 न्यू डीजल इंजन अटैक सब्स भी दिए हैं बाय द प्रॉमिस किए हैं, एंड इट इज़ इन द वर्क्स एंड दे विल बी अवेलेबल इन पाकिस्तान बाय 2028. सो वेयर डज पाकिस्तान फॉल इनटू इट? पाकिस्तान जो है वो किस हद तक जो है वो इट हैज़ a second strike capacity. In late 2019, Pakistan announced that it has the capacity for a second strike, albeit at a very lower level than that of India. So अगर हम इस पे बात करते हैं कि पाकिस्तान ने ये जो है वो रास्ता स्टार्ट कैसे किया. अक्टूबर 2000 में आपके पास जो है वो MTC which is the Maritime Technological Complex, इसको इस्टेब्लिश किया गया था. नेवल स्ट्रेटेजिक कमांड फोर्सेस को इस्टेब्लिश किया गया था 2012, ठीक है. तो बेसिकली आपके पास एक फ्रेमवर्क जो है वो सेट हो रहा है टू इस्टेब्लिश सी बेस्ड डिटरेंस. 2016 में पाकिस्तान ने सेनेट में ये बात सामने रखी थी, एंड इट वाज टेबल्ड to put forward a resolution inside the UN to declare the Indian Ocean as a nuclear free zone. That did not obviously work out. So Pakistan was then again forced to work on sea-based deterrence. So in that terms हम बात करते हैं the Babar 3, which is the submarine launched ballistic missile. It was tested on January 2017 and it has a range of 450 kilometers. Not only that, the coast of Karachi and Gwadar have been fitted out with a low frequency, with a very low frequency area which is called as the VLF, which is number 1 able to pick up very low signals from submarines, any underwater bodies inside the region, ठीक है, of the coast of Karachi and Gwadar, number 1. Number 2, ये जो VLF arrays हैं, they are also able to communicate at frequencies that are not able to be caught up by enemy forces, ठीक है। और इन VLF arrays का सबसे ज़्यादा फ़ायदा क्या है कि आपके पास जो है वो जो एक ऑनलाइन सिस्टम होता है, एन ऑनलाइन सिस्टम ऑफ कम्युनिकेटिंग विद द सबमरीन्स, उसकी ज़रूरत नहीं रहती है। व्हेन योर न्यूक्लियर बेस्ड डिटरेंस इज ऑनलाइन, ठीक है, इट इज़ वेरी ईजी टू हैक इट, ठीक है। सो in South Asia, basically the entire fight is over the IOR, ठीक है, and Pakistan is caught between two very heavyweights. We have India, then we have China. China obviously is going to support Pakistan because the Malacca dilemma, ठीक है, it needs Gwadar, ठीक है, it needs a strategic bypass against the Straits of Malacca, ठीक है। तो सबसे आसान तरीका क्या है? To use land routes instead of sea routes, ठीक है, in the eventuality that they are choked off to hurt China, to hurt Chinese interests. तो इसका जो बैलेंस का जो इफेक्ट है सबसे ज़्यादा, वो मैंने ये बात आपको पहले भी की थी कि आपके पास जो SSB हैं, दे आर एबल टू कैरी सबमरीन लॉन्च बैलिस्टिक मिसाइल्स, ठीक है, एंड सबमरीन लॉन्च कॉन्टिनेंटल मिसाइल्स एज वेल, ठीक है। दे कैन रिमेन सबमर्ज्ड फॉर ओवर 50 days, ठीक है, एंड आर वर्चुअली अनडिटेक्टेबल, ठीक है। Because of the assumption that nuclear warfare would traditionally take place on land, ठीक है, तो water deterrence के ऊपर इतना खास ध्यान नहीं दिया गया। But since the sighting of SSNs in the Indian Ocean, the Chinese SSNs, India has ramped up its second strike capacity. और in the same manner, since अगर इंडिया जो है वो बेशक हमारे लिए ना सही, चाइनीज़ को से डर के जो है वो अपनी सेकेंड स्ट्राइक कैपेसिटी इन्हांस कर रहे हैं, दैट इज़ ऑल्सो गोइंग टू नेगेटिवली इफेक्ट पाकिस्तान। So the nuclear balance inside this region is, as of right now, abhi to nahi, the plans have been kind of derailed because of the pandemic, but this has not stopped India and China from being at loggerheads, number one. Number two, it has also not prevented India from spouting war rhetoric against Pakistan, okay? So if Pakistan is able to gain a working fully functional second strike capacity, जो कि reports में है कि they are working on missiles that have a range of more than 1,000 kilometers, ठीक है, that can be launched from a submarine, Pakistan will also gain a very secure footing against India. India might be a heavyweight, but Pakistan also now has second strike capacity, and if used strategically, even short range missiles or medium range missiles have the capacity to inflict a lot of damage. So in conclusion, sea-based deterrence inside South Asia is kind of the norm, with China leading the pack. लेकिन इसके अंदर पाकिस्तान जो है वो पिसता है, in the sense that India has a lot of resources to put into its military program, number one, in its number two, and it's in its nuclear program, and number three, it also has a very credible high range second strike capacity. This will disturb the already delicate balance inside South Asia. So this is all for today. I hope that this has been enlightening for you. Stay safe. Allah Hafiz.